Today we're going to work on our Dyna Glo Deluxe propane heater, and the problem with this heater is that it shuts off as soon as you release the valve when you're doing the startup. And so what's going on is the thermocouple is burnt out. And so I've already pulled that out. Get up here so you can see it. You can see this wire has actually come out of the bottom of it. The end of it's kind of burnt up, and we're going to replace that today. So what I used was my drill with a magnetic tip, a extension, pair of side cuts, just in case there's any wire ties in your way. And I highly suggest getting a magnetic bowl, throw your nuts in or your screws. I got that at Harbor Freight. Make sure that the unit is unplugged and that your gas has been unhooked and purged out of the line. And let's get started. We'll start by taking off this bottom panel. It's 4 screws, 2 on each side. So next thing, take this cover off with these 3 screws. We need to unplug these 2 wires to get enough slack to pull the motor out. So that is going to be this wire here, and then there's these 2 wires right here. Blue one on top, the white one back on the bottom. We'll just pull these off, and that'll give us enough slack to pull the motor out. So this screw, you can pull this down, and I see I already got that one pulled out there. On this side, you need an extension on your drill, and then you can get kind of up over that valve. You can see that light spot there. That's where that screw was, and you can pull that out with an extension on your drill bit. So now I pulled out these top 2 screws, and this assembly is going to be loose. I've pulled those 2 wires, got some slack in there, so now I can carefully pull this out. And I'm just going to hook this on the side of the unit here. You see it kind of get a little bit back for. So that way, you want to be careful not to ding up these aluminum fans. They're pretty soft. And now we get down to where we need to work. It looks like, take that screw out and that little bracket that holds the thermocouple on. So you can see how this bottom grommet here, there's this copper line that comes out, and it goes up to here. This is the other end of the thermocouple. You'll take this off, and you have to feed that copper wire through that grommet and into that, and then thread it back onto that. So the new thermocouple's in place. I had to put a bigger screw in there because the other one was rusted out and wouldn't stick. The yellow wire is plugged in here to our overheat sensor. And then the copper wire is fed through the sidewall. And then that'll be plugged in where we took it off on the other side. Now just put everything back in. Okay, so before we button this up, we want to check. We got the blue wire on the top like we had it. White wire is connected to the bottom. This wire is connected. And the copper wire coming on the back is screwed in here where it was. And now we can put the bottom on and test fire it. So we have good spark.